everybody.
Flashing light was that.
Welcome. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for bringing the elements and getting out here to our weekly coaches luncheon. We always appreciate your support. And a special thank you to Links Brothers Pizza for providing the pizza today. We always appreciate their good food, and I can see everybody's already loading up and thinking about putting for seconds. So the good news is it's good. Thank you to Links Brothers. We appreciate it. And we've got a lot of good things going on ahead of us. Men's and women's basketball have started, if you have not noticed. This upcoming weekend, men's basketball is on the road down in Texas. On Friday night, they play at Texas A&M Kingsville. And on Saturday, they play at Texas A&M International. Women's basketball is going to be in Durango, Colorado this weekend. They're playing in the Conference Challenge tournament. On Friday, they play Eastern New Mexico in the afternoon. And on Saturday, they play University of Texas Permian Basin early that evening. Volleyball, they've got a match today at Black Hills State. Coach is going to talk with us today and then literally get on the bus and go to Spearfish. So if you get a chance, get out there and support them. Then they also play Saturday at UC Colorado Springs. Football is on the road this weekend. They're at Western State, Colorado, wrapping up the season. So we've got everybody on the road this weekend. Make sure you follow us through the website, through Stretch. You can follow all of our sports that way. We've got a lot of coaches who are going to be talking with us today now that we're adding basketball into the mix now that their season has gotten started. The first coach I want to introduce is our volleyball coach, Jenni Bolduc. Again, she literally, once she's done here, she's going to be jumping on the bus and getting up to Spearfish. So everybody please help me welcome Jenni.
I will take up a ton of time because I know we do have a lot of coaches and I wasn't originally planning to be speaking. This weekend we dropped a couple matches to Shattern and Regis. The Shattern match, we were there, and that was just some really ugly volleyball. I went back and watched it. In the match, I was pretty excited. I thought we weren't working very hard. So when I went back and watched it, it was just really ugly volleyball. We outdid Shattern, we outmatched Shattern, we outdone Shattern. To get swept by a team that you do those things, you gotta be doing something like pretty unusually bad. And we just had 5 service errors in the first set, which is unreal. It's not okay. We got a few other ball handling errors, but for the most part, it's just not great volley. I think Saturday was a lot better. Thanks for everyone who came out to our senior night. I think it was a pretty good turnout, and it was good, solid volley. I think if you were there and you noticed the 5-minute intermission during set 1, we were up, 21-17. I love the other coach is also neutral. I love him. We were friends for a long time. After the match, he's like, man, I'm really sorry. I didn't know. I mean, I did that to delay the game, but I didn't know it was going to be a 5-minute delay. I was like, if I didn't like you, I'd be really mad at you. But part of me just kind of respected that he did that. So there are no noisemakers allowed at our matches. So just for future reference, if you'd like to not kill 7-point run that we have going on, that'd be awesome. But then, we took a set off of them, and they're the number 12 team in the country right now, and they're playing pretty well, pretty solid. So I'm really, really proud of our athletes, especially after Friday nights, to come back and win a set like that and play a full match like that, like we did Saturday. Everyone felt pretty good about that. We do play again tonight against Black Hills, Hardrock Hills, and then we will go to UCCS on Saturday. And then that will be the end of our season. So I just want to say, hey, thank you for supporting us. I know that I've seen a lot of the games. I really appreciate when you guys talk to us at the games and any feedback you have. It's always really cool. I know the athletes really appreciate having you and seeing you there. You following your careers throughout the 4 years from that and really here has been really special for them. So, are there any questions? I know you guys are cool right now. The middle of the pack is really close right now, so there's a lot of factors that could happen. They need to win. They're kind of on the cusp right now. Hopefully, yeah. It is some issue where they're playing pretty well. They watched them play Regis. They also took a set up Regis this weekend. But hopefully, if we can play as well as we can, we're going to be okay. Any other questions? Thank you.
Thank you, Coach, we appreciate you making time to come say hi before you leave for your match tonight. Not only Andrew Conniff, our soccer coach, would come up, but he's actually having to escort one of his players to an MRI. So he will not be bringing his unique brand of comedy to us today, but he is taking care of one of our athletes, and he will come next week to give us a wrap-up of the season. So at this time, I would like to introduce our cross-country coach, Steve Johnson.
All right, well, as most of you know, we went down to Canyon, Texas last weekend. We actually left on Wednesday night, spent the night in Sydney, and got up the next morning and took advantage of all the lights that Cabela's has around their parking lot, did a workout in that morning, and then went the rest of the way down to and stayed actually in Amarillo. What you're seeing right now is actually some pictures. We took the kids out after we checked out the course on Friday and went to Palo Duro Canyon State Park. And Palo Duro Canyon claims to be the second largest canyon in the country. So we got a chance to just go explore a little bit. We took lunch out there and just had a little bit of time to unwind a little bit. Next morning, this is actually from the course that morning. We literally got there at sunrise, and the weather was great. Quite frankly, it was probably the best weather we've ever had this season. We didn't have to deal with smoke. We didn't have to deal with ridiculous humidity or rain or anything like that. We kicked things off with a women's race. I think I mentioned last time that our women kind of gotten stuck in that 17th place, and we finally got unstuck a little bit. We actually moved up to 13th in the region this time. Beat some teams again that we had not been able to beat. We actually beat the winner. The region brings together the Heartland, the Lone Star, and the RMAC. We actually beat the conference champion from the Lone Star conference. We were 13th, and we were still the 10th RMAC team in the meet. If that tells you anything about how easy RMAC is. Adeline Stratmeyer was our leader once again. She wound up 35th, I believe, overall. She frankly had one of the best races she's had all season. She really did a good job of getting up there. You can see her with the two West Texas girls right there. And then right behind her, a little ways behind her, were Erica Westerman and Carrie Radke in 62nd and 63rd. Erica got out really well, but unfortunately, once in a while, you kind of, even when you're a training runner, you still get sideways. Just like you might if you haven't been working out much. And she unfortunately succumbed a little bit to a side ache, so that cost us a little bit point-wise. But at the end of the day, she moved up 50 spots over what she ran the year before. Carrie moved up 10 spots. Abby moved up, I think it was 5 spots. Our number 4 runner, Riley Sutton, picked up 10 more spots on the day. 5 out of our 7 women ran the best performances they've ever run at a region meet. And keep in mind that 4 of those 7 are seniors. We were running 4 region meets. With those seniors, they came in the year after we were last in the region, and they were second to last that first year. We moved up into the top 50% for the first time in school history in an NCAA region. There were 27 teams on the day on the women's side, and to see them finish 13th, it just confirmed that we were right in the mix, right where we thought we were. And for these girls to have been able to do that, to put that together, was a tremendous accomplishment for them. Looking at our men's race, you just saw Jacob Huber, and this is Andy Ferris. Jacob and Andy were our 1 and 2 runners all season long. Jacob put together a really nice 10K. He had his best region performance ever. He's running 3 region meets now. And Jacob's pretty much been our number 1 guy since he was a freshman. There's always been a little bottle along the way where somebody gets him, and he doesn't let that last very long. But Andy's provided a nice challenge for him up front, and we look forward to seeing what those guys can get done. Our guys team is really young. We took 4 freshmen down. I don't remember the last time we took 4 freshmen down to the region. And that may have hurt us a little bit, but we wound up 24th out of 28 teams, which we were 19th last year. But we knew going into the season it was going to be a little bit of a rebuild, especially when we made the decision to redshirt Chase. And so that cost us a little bit right up front. But these guys ran pretty well. I think they learned a lot of good lessons about themselves and about the 10K. This is a race that, for a lot of them, they're only going to see a couple times a year, because on the track, only about half of them are actually going to be 10Kers. So for guys like Andy, who's an 800 runner, he's not going to run a 10K. He may not run a 10K ever on the track, quite frankly. So to come out and run this race that's, 12 times the distance, or 10 times the distance of what he normally runs, that's a big jump for these guys to be able to make. And to come in as freshmen and ask them to do that is a big ask. But they really did a good job of staying focused. They did a good job of staying engaged in the race, and it's just a matter of continuing to get stronger as we go. The nice thing about having a young team is we kind of, with this women's team, we've got a little bit of a blueprint now how to get where we want to go. And now it's just a matter of trying to figure out how to accelerate that a little bit, so that instead of moving up 10 or 15% a year, we can move up 20% a year. And if we can do that, they took 7 teams from the men's side to the national league. That's the most we've had go from the RMAC, or from the region, I think, ever. Because in the past, what they've done is they've taken the top 3, and then you got your additional bids based on how you finish the region. With this new system, it's all about earning points, and it's kind of a BCS type of system as far as wins against common opponents and things like that. So to see 7 teams out of our region just speaks again to the depth. On the women's side, they took 5 teams out of the region. It's been a fight every year to get 5 teams out of the region. In fact, last year or 2 years ago, we only had 4 teams go. So the region is definitely every bit as strong as ever. 7, by the way, is the most teams that were taken out of any region out of either gender. So, and the women's side, there were only 3 regions, I believe it was, that actually, or 4 regions, excuse me, out of 8, that actually got more than their automatic bids. On the men's side, it was 3 regions took up all the automatic bids. So, without question, we're facing a tough challenge and an uphill battle every time, but it's something that these guys have really embraced, and I think they're looking forward to as we go forward. Good questions. All right, thank you.
Steve, thank you very much. Basketball season has started. As a former point guard myself, I'm excited about this upcoming season. So now, obviously, it's been a while since I'm not fooling anybody. But with that said, I'm very excited to see our both of my basketball coaches start speaking at our luncheons. I'm going to welcome Jason Henry first, men's basketball. Jason.
All right, good to be back. Good to be back. Talked a little bit about our guys, and yeah, I got 2 minutes, and the light starts flashing up here, so I'll try to keep it under 20 minutes. Just add a 0 to everything. I thought it was kind of interesting where Steve went back into there. Where else can you get, other than college athletics, especially small school in our case, college athletics at the D2 level, an opportunity to leave at night, stay in Sydney, Nebraska, get up in the morning, go practice under the lights at Cabela's. I mean, I'm about the life right there, I'll tell you that. The football team gets to leave, they leave Thursday night at midnight, drive through the night, squish in with another 300-pound guy sitting in the seat next to them, and wake up in the morning and you're in Colorado Springs. You know, that's advantages that you definitely have of playing small school athletics. One of the tweets I had to start the year, we're pulling out, going ahead and do a scrimmage a couple weeks ago. Volleyball team's pulling in at 8 o'clock in the morning. You know, it's incredible the things that our student athletes, scholar athletes go through. You know, it's awesome that we have the support, that kind of things, to give these kids the opportunities to train under the lights at Cabela's. You know, it's pretty cool that we can do some of that. We do get another opportunity this weekend to leave at 4 o'clock in the morning. We do have a flight that heads out to Texas. Of course, our budgets aren't the Nebraska budgets and you know, the University of Miami's budgets and things, so we get to pick the flights that give us the cheapest ones. And of course, nobody wants to fly at 5:30 in the morning and get back home at midnight at night on a Sunday night. But those are the things that we get to do. Our athletes, I wouldn't say are prepared for them, for those kind of things, but it definitely prepares them for life. And whatever's thrown at them in the real world kind of thing, they can look back and just go, yeah, but I did this. Whatever you throw at me, it ain't gonna matter. So it's kind of cool that way. Anyway, back to our team real quick. In our scrimmages, we'll go through our team hopefully in a couple of weeks when we get an opportunity to you know, use up some more time and that kind of thing when there's not so many coaches and stuff. But we got a great looking group of guys. I don't know how good they're going to be, but they look good. They look the part. Their hair's combed most of the time, and it is a great group and a fun group. We did have 2 scrimmages already, and then we did have actually 3 scrimmages, and then 1 game. We had an exhibition game against South Dakota State on Thursday night. Great opportunity. It was actually a game that we were supposed to have, and then it got canceled. And then with the hurricanes, not that they're a good thing, but a good thing that happened from those, and the opportunity for a lot of the bigger schools to kind of give back as far as financial-wise goes. They did some fundraiser games and called hurricane games, and they asked us to be a part of that because they had to drop us for other reasons to start the year. So we got that game back, went down and played them on Thursday, and I have no idea. I still don't know what to expect with this team. I know we're young, I know we're inexperienced and all those kind of things, but I tell you what, they played their tails off. They competed. We're playing a guy that is going to be probably a first round, possibly. I don't know if it'll get to that point, but a lottery pick in the NBA. If you ever have an opportunity to get out that way and go watch South Dakota State play, he's good. They're good. You know, they lost to Gonzaga in the first round of the tournament last year, and they got everybody back, plus replaced a couple guys that I think were maybe not as good as the guys that they have there. So we're very fortunate for the opportunity. Went out there, like I said, we just competed, made enough shots, guarded them well, and played our tails off and have a lead at halftime, had like an 8 or 10 point lead in the first half. You know, I think with 15 minutes to go, 14 minutes to go, we still had a lead. Then they, you know, we didn't score. They kind of gave it to their NBA guy. We fouled them way too much. I think they outshot us in the from the free throw line like 30-5. And it wasn't the officials trying to keep them in the game by any means. It was us just not sliding our feet and flat out falling. So bottom line is, lost the game by double digits, and but a great experience. Learned a lot from it. Turned around the next night and had another scrimmage. Didn't play as well there. Got back at it again on Sunday night, and I felt like we had a great practice on Sunday again. So if we're able to do that with the young group that we have, they're able to compete every night, play their tails off, and keep getting better. We're going to surprise some people, and I don't know if it's going to surprise us much because we think we have a chance to be pretty decent and, you know, be competitive night in and night out, have some opportunities to win some games. But our guys are excited to get rolling down in Texas. As far as the Texas trip coming up here, we do go down to Kingsville, which is right on the Mexico border, and Laredo. We play Texas International, A&M International, and Texas A&M Kingsville. Kingsville just went across the road over to Corpus Christi, a team that won 25 games last year, and they beat them on their home court. That was 4 days ago. So they were in the regional tournament last year. They got probably one of the top players in their conference on their team, along with a lot of other good players. So we're going to have our hands full the first night. Defensively, they're absolutely incredible. They're long, they're athletic, and once again, we're not, and I can't simulate that by me going out there or asking Kevin to go out there and play point guard against us. We ain't the guys that they're playing, all right, that we're playing this weekend. So it's hard to simulate that. It's going to take us a half to, get used to the athleticism and that kind of thing. But after that, we can knock down some shots, not turn the ball over. We're going to be just fine both nights. The second night, play international, basically an all-new team. They recruit the junior college level very, very hard. They got big, strong, athletic guys. Once again, we're 18, 19 years old out there. We have to do some other things because physically we're not going to be at the same level as they are right now. So we have to do some other things to be competitive. But that's kind of the stretch for the last couple of weeks. Very excited about our team. Very excited about the attitudes that they have right now and the process that they're making and how hard they play. It's going to be a fun team to watch. I'll tell you that right now. We can shoot the ball, and they just play so hard. I mean, it's fun. It's fun to coach, and it's going to be fun to watch. Any quick questions for me before we get to Brian to take double time?
When you're in that situation, is it harder in basketball to play offense or defense when you're sort of a younger team that hasn't played together as much, and maybe you're playing a big, strong team? Where does it affect you more?
You know what? Honestly, probably on the offensive side that we've had. I wouldn't say that's the case across the board. But the question was, is it offense, defense when you're physically outmatched? Offensively, you think you can just knock down shots, and if you get open, that kind of stuff. But where we have a problem with the physicalness is trying to get into gaps, to free up those shooters. So getting in a gap, and that guy helps, and I'm able to kick it. We can't get by that first guy because he puts his hand on us and we basically stop. Rebounding, is always a big thing where a lot of rebounding is hard. Well, sometimes if you're 150-pound Jay Keith and the guy that's guarding you is 6'3", 205 pounds, he hits you, you don't get to go half-heart. It's a physical matchup, and we have to do some other things to make sure that that's kind of leveled out. And some of it's just flat out playing hard. You can be the most physical guy in the world. I mean, you run into this in football all the time. You can be the most physical, big, strong guy in the world and don't play hard. The little guy, the little crapper kicks your butt every game, or every down. So we got to count on that, and our guys have really bought into that right now. That they can keep their bills on. Anything else? Yep.
We're running out of time. Two quick answers. Remind us of the name of the stud from SCSU. And secondly, who's your stud on November 7th?
Oh, we're not right now. Today. That's difficult too. I don't even know what day it is. Mike Dahm, he's a junior. He's from Kimball, Nebraska. Wasn't recruited real hard. He's a kid from SCSU that Tim asked about. Wasn't recruited real hard. The big schools definitely didn't. Honestly, SDSU kind of took a flyer on him. Just being a big kid is one of the things that I talk to Joel about it all the time is, holy cows, you got to go get this big kid that, what's he going to do 2 years from now kind of thing. And that's the challenge that you have at the basketball is, guards a lot of times, if they're good. And you can, give them scholarship money, they can come in and play. Bigs might be 2 years, they grow into their body, their footwork, all those kind of things. And he was kind of that way. He could shoot the three, got a good body, put on some weight now that he's been there. And just ran into a coach that had talked to a scout down in Arizona that was watching the kids play at Arizona. And he said, oh, yeah, you guys are from South Dakota, the Dom kid's from up there. And, oh, yeah, what do you think of him? He's really good. And that was coming from an NBA scout that, talking about a junior. They think he's going to stay this year. As far as to play, he's kind of a farm kid. Loves playing at SCSU, loves the fact of the family and all those kind of things. The NBA can wait kind of thing. But hopefully he does because they have a chance to be very, very good with him. And he needs to keep getting better, to go compete. NBA level is different animal. Second question, November 7th. I have no idea. Troy Brady, there's going to be so many surprises that you guys have no idea who these kids are. Troy Brady at 16 against South Dakota State. Not the quickest guy on the team, not the best this, not the best that. Can flat out shoot the ball, and once again, he competes. He's playing extremely well. I don't even know if he's going to start for us November 10th, November 11th, our first game. But he's a kid that, he's definitely going to be surprised for a lot of us. Okay. Yes?
Is Jake going to get a lot of minutes this year?
Jake Keith?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not the smartest guy, so I don't know if I'll play him this year. Yeah, Jake's good. A couple of coaches came up after that game and they're just like, "Holy crap, that kid! He had a couple spin moves and a up and under, and they were running around in circles. It was kind of funny." Then the next night we didn't play him too much because of trying to figure out some other guys and things. So, but yeah, Jake Heath is once again. I'm excited. I'm excited. You can't tell, but we're young and like I said, not a lot of experience, but our guys are going to be fun to watch, and they're a great, exceptional group to coach right now. Okay, I gotta shut up. No more questions. Sorry, say it. Brian, be shorter than me, right? Okay, thank you.
Coach, thank you for those 2 minutes. We appreciate that.
You got it.
Ryan, you're up. Come on up here.
I don't abide by the rules. I'm gonna talk as long as I want. Okay, that's just my questions. You guys are good. You're happy. We got a couple Hall of Famers in the room. I want to point out, Don March. Hey, great job. You get probably gave the greatest Hall of Fame conductor speech I've ever heard. That was Mark. You were great too. I know you didn't say much, but you were great. Appreciate you guys for you bet doing everything you do for us. Yeah, great to be up here again. Steve, congratulations, good year. Fun watching your kids compete. Andrew, I know he's not here, but got a great season for the soccer squad as well. Jenni, Coach Tinker, we'll get him this week. All right, let's finish up strong. Again, it's great watching your teams compete and progress throughout the year. A lot of fun. Our staff is intact again from last year, which makes me very, very pleased. Coach Bondlander is here. She's back for her second year. Last year, her first year assistant coach, 23 back then. Is that right when you hired him? 24. Okay. 1 year under her belt. Just the progress that year makes is tremendous. Much like freshmen playing basketball, you expect a lot of them that second year, and just so much more comfort and knowing what she's doing. And the thing I really see is on the basketball floor this year is teaching our kids. I kind of have a joke. Last year I had Coach Bondlander working with the guards and Coach Richter working with the posts, and I wasn't happy with either one of them, the guards or the posts, so I switched them. And Coach is working with the posts this year, and Coach Richter's with the guards, and I think that was a pretty smart move on my part. Good decision there. Coach was only an all-conference post player when she played, so that makes sense. Coach Richter's back with us again. Very pleased. Our staff is intact and back. That makes my job obviously that much more easier, which is enjoyable for me. Then a special shout out to our training staff, especially Christina Burke. Last year, Marissa Burke had been down with an ACL injury. I'm not sure how many hours those two logged together doing rehab. I'm glad to say that we were able to get Missy 12 minutes on Friday night, last Friday, against our Montana State exhibition game. That's great. That's great progress. Not sure how many minutes we'll get her this coming weekend, but good thing she's going to be on the floor and be able to help us out this year. That's a big piece of our puzzle. I said last year, Missy went down. She was the best player on our team. It wasn't just, Missy's got a unique ability. She can affect the game in so many ways, and she's just a very smart basketball player. And when she's on the floor, we're just better. And it's not just the rebounds and points. We're just a better player when she's on the floor. Then Emma Pierce the same way. Emma had a knee surgery, a little scope right after school. She had to stay behind about a month after school was done. Rehabbing that, and she went home. And typical Emma fashion, she works really, really hard, almost obsessive. So when she got healthy, she worked out extremely hard, and she injured her foot. So she got a stress fracture, and then she got cleared from a stress fracture. And she went hard again, and the stress fracture turned to a break in her foot. And she came back, and she was in a boot for the longest time. She's out of the boot now. Prognosis on her, most likely not going to play this weekend. Matter of fact, she will not play this weekend. And we're really shooting for the following weekend, our first homestand, where we can get Emma on the floor. and get her some minutes, hopefully. Probably in a controlled minutes. How many minutes we can play her, we'll have to control that a little bit. But big shout out to Christina Burke and the rest of our training staff for doing a great job there and getting those kids healthy because they're big pieces. And after that, okay, so we had half of our posts were injured to start practice this year. All right, I like to carry 6 posts because of that. Well, half of them were on the sideline. Well, I wasn't going to just totally burn out Anna Haugen, Molly McCabe, and Jessica Lorenz, who's a new player for us. So I had to go recruit a couple practice players. And, well, we have the best practice squad in America right now. You guys have heard of them, Ben Broker and Malik Shakur. Those guys have been practicing with us for the last couple of weeks. You know, hey, Coach Tinker, they were good football players. We used to see these guys hoop. They're good, and they are really making us better right now. And I tell you what, these guys they gotta get certified through the NCAA. Okay, they gotta fill out these training room stuff. They gotta get a physical. Okay, and I can't pay them. I wish I could. I can't pay them. Best thing I can do is just give them a high five and tell them thank you. You know, after practice. These guys have been with us every practice, going up and down and competing. They've really helped us out. I can't thank those guys enough. Just, you know, again, we talk about the student athletes that we have here. Those two kind of exemplify. And I tell you what, both of them came to me and they said, "Hey, Coach, I heard you need some help and you're looking for some practice players." And they came to me and I'm like, "Yeah, please, let's go." So again, big thanks to those guys. Yeah, excited about this year's squad. Really am. We've had one scrimmage a couple weeks ago against Dakota Wesleyan. It was good. The good thing about it was we made a bunch of shots, a whole bunch of shots. It was kind of fool's gold though because we didn't have to run a whole lot of offense. We were just able to make 1-2 passes and it was going in. We made a ton of shots. It was always fun to see. It worried me a little bit because we didn't have to really work for it, and that showed up this Friday night when we played a really good team, Montana State, who played in the NCAA tournament last year. They were Big Sky champions. They won the Big Sky regular season and tournament. I believe they were a 13 seed in the national tournament. And lost to a really good team, Washington. We had the Player of the Year, Kelsey Plum, who's now in the WNBA in the first round. But they were picked to win the Big Sky again this year. So it was a really good challenge. I'm very, very pleased with the way we competed. We competed very, very hard. But we didn't run great offense. We had too many mistakes offensively and defensively to really have a good showing. That's what I want to see in those games. All right, how do we run our stuff? Where exactly are we at this point in the season running our offense and defensive systems? And that's where we had some breakdowns. But again, that's why you play those games so you can see that on film. And yesterday we saw a whole bunch of it. You know, I was kind of weirded out because nobody was saying a whole lot in the film. And later on, they told me, "Coach, I just didn't realize we were that bad." Like, yeah, well, now we're gonna learn. And I tell you what, Monday's practice and today's practice, it's been good because we've been able to clean up a lot of those issues, and it makes me feel really, really good. Now that kind of exemplifies this team a little bit. You know, they're a great group. They're really, really coachable, and that's fun. And I don't have to beat my head against the wall or stand on my hands to get my point across. They listen and they want to be good. And so it's been a fun group to coach. This weekend, we're in a conference challenge again. Last year was held down in Clovis. Where were we last year? Clovis, New Mexico. Yeah. But this year it rotates sites, so it's in Durango, home of Fort Lewis College. So we're getting on the bus Thursday, driving all the way to Durango. We have to travel for these conference exempt tournaments, which kind of stinks, but these things are hard to get into. Okay, they're unique situations. They're nice because they're technically exempt games where it allows you to play 2 extra games other than what your NCAA allows you to play. And the real reason that's nice behind these games is you're squaring off against teams in another conference within your region. So at the end of the year, if you're fortunate to win these games, and you're in the 5th of the regional rankings, okay, so you beat 2 opponents that are within your region, that really helps you out when the regional rankings come in. At the end of February around there, Jason, they start the regional ranking votes come out. So if you're fortunate to win those games and you're doing well in your conference, you got a good chance to get regional votes. And if you're in the regional top 8, then obviously you get to go play in the national tournament, and that's the goal that we're looking for. So these games are very valuable for a lot of reasons, in a lot of ways. And what problem is we got to go travel to them, but that's okay. As you guys know, I don't mind getting on the bus early in the year. I think it's great. The best thing that we needed was to get on the bus last week and go travel and have our team spend some time together. And so I'm a big fan of that always. The opponents that were playing Friday night, Eastern New Mexico, they were a national tournament team last year. Very good team. They returned just about everybody except their second leading scorer, who was not a starter for them. She was one of the young ladies that probably gave us the most fits last year. We had trouble guarding, so that makes me feel a little bit more comfortable about the game. But at the same time, as good as they were, it was an overtime game. Okay, we shot 55% from the free throw line, which isn't great for us. We didn't have a really good shooting percentage. One of our better players last year, Megan Rohr, didn't have a great game. So we were right there. And then in overtime, we had a layup with 8 seconds to win the game. Okay, and then we still had a shot to tie to send in the second overtime. So as good as Eastern New Mexico is, we were right there with them last year. Our second opponent, same as last year, is University of Texas Permian Basin. Not sure about this team. They have a new coach, and kind of like Coach Henry's opponent, they recruited the junior college very well and pretty hard. I think they have about 16 or 18 kids on their roster right now, and about half of them are new. So we're not sure what we're getting into there as far as the personnel and what the new coach is going to run offensively and defensively. But the thing I like about those games, that we tell our teams, everybody's in the same situation right now. Okay, what these games come down to is who can run their stuff the best. And the stuff being your offense, your defense, okay, your sets, your different defenses, if we're going to trap or whatever, run our zone. We are playing a zone this year, okay? Trust me, you guys will see a zone. I told Coach Richard and Coach Bond that over the summer, let's find a zone, you make me stick with it, and we're going to run it. So yes, we're farther along in our zone defense than we ever have been in my 4 years here, so I'm very happy about that. But back to my original point, it's all about who runs their stuff best. And again, we lost to Permian Basin last year, but in the fourth quarter, we were up 8 with about 6 minutes to go, and they made one final push, and we turned it over down the stretch, and we gave them too many baskets. That was our Achilles heel last year. 2 years ago, it was rebounding. We got a really good player who really covers up a lot of our rebounding right now. Number 22 there, Anna Haugen. She averaged double-digit rebounds for us last year. She covers up a lot of our rebounding woes, so 2 years ago we got that fixed. Last year, it was our turnovers. We have to correct that this year, and our kids are very mindful of that right now. And I think we're getting it. I feel good about that right now. Last year, talking about turnovers, we lost 9 games by 8 points or less. Okay, that's obviously a lot of close games right there. And kind of what I'm telling our team from the very first meeting that we have, all right, 8 points. That is 1 basket a quarter that we need to find. Okay, 1 more made layup, 2 more made free throws, 1 more made jumper, all right, a quarter, or holding them to 8 less points. All right, that is very doable. Very, very doable. So that's kind of our theme right now. We have to find a way to 8 more points a game. And it just doesn't have to be scoring. Okay, it could be on the defensive end as well. That margin can be made up quite easily in my mind. I think our kids are really buying into that. 9 wins is a lot, okay, but 8 points isn't a whole lot. We can fix that pretty easily if we can cut our turnovers down a bunch. So that's what we're really looking to do. I'm excited about this squad. I really am. We're a little different this year, just because we were able to make the playoffs last year. That was great. We're very happy about that. That was a nice feather in our cap. But we're not going to sneak up on anybody this year. People know that we return a lot of players, a lot of experience. So we just have to have a different mindset about ourselves. And again, I think our kids really understand that, and they're grasping that role right now. So much like Coach Henry, I'm really excited about this squad. But you know what? We still got to make baskets, which is not easy to do some games, and we still have to get stops. So it doesn't matter how good we are or what we've done already. We still have to play the game and play it better than our opponents. But yeah, very excited. Any questions for me before I start talking golf or cribbage or anything like that?
Questions?
Yes. Questions? Yes, sir.
Who's gonna step up and make it roll?
You know, it'll be by committee. Yeah, it'll be by committee. It's always tough to replace a Megan Rohr. Okay, yeah, there's no doubt about it. It's going to be nice to have Missy back, hopefully healthy. Okay, she's not 100% yet, but hopefully sooner rather than later she will be. I'm very excited about Anna Haugen and the progress she's made. She had a really good summer, working on her ball handling skills and shooting ability. I'm excited about her. Molly McCabe's much improved. You know, one thing that we keep telling Molly is we need you to be more selfish. Okay, you know, there was a stretch last year where she was averaging about, I don't know, 6 to 9 points and high 60%. All right, shooting the basketball. That means that she's got to take more shots. And there's too many times where she's 2, 3 feet from the basket and she's passing the ball. You know, there's one person guarding her, and she needs to be more selfish and score it. Okay, that's hard for Molly to do. She's a really nice young lady, and she's very unselfish. And she'd rather pass, but we need her to be more selfish and score the basketball. And you know, I don't want to put any pressure on the kid, but Emma Pierce can really score too. Okay, she's a very talented player. But she hasn't played a game in over a year. Okay, because coming from Australia, she graduated in November. And her season was done well before November. I think it was like August that her season ends over there. And yeah, she was able to come and practice with us last spring, but spring practice is quite a bit different than fall practice, where you're really grinding, learning your offense and defense and stuff like that. So yeah, she got a taste of what we do, but yet she hasn't had, you know, the real reps that you need to get to really learn what we do and where all the nuances are and the specifics where she can score the basketball. And unlike Missy, I've told a lot of people that, you know, Missy's just a very heady, smart basketball player, and she's played for 2 years, so she's got a good feel. We can throw Missy out there, and she's going to play, for the most part, fairly mistake-free, okay, because of her experience and her basketball intelligence. Emma's a smart basketball player, but she just hasn't had the reps, so, you know, her learning curve is going to be a little bit more steeper than Missy. But to answer your question, by committee, I think all 4 of those posts are very, very capable of scoring it, but we do need more production from our guards too. And I know our guards are capable of putting up more points there too. So now I'm not a coach that really wants to beat one person and try to give them 20, 25 points a game. You know, I want 5 weapons on the floor that can, you know, put up anywhere between 8 to 16 points a game. That's when you're really hard to guard. You have to guard 5 weapons on the floor instead of just keying on 1 or 2 or 3 kids. That's how I want to play and put points on the floor. But I have been asked that a lot, and I know we'll be able to cover up maybe 13 points a game for sure. Yeah. Anything else? I covered it all, didn't I? My golf game was solid this year. I got better Ken Price. I did. I worked hard. I just didn't go play all the time. You know, I can actually practice a little bit. You know, as a coach, you're telling your team, you got to get in the gym and practice. You got to practice. Well, I better follow suit and be on the range and putting green a little bit too. And you know, it's amazing when you're not 3-putting every green how much more you're scoring. So I put a lot of time on the putting green. That's it for me in golf. Good to be back. Again, Coach Tinker, Coach Bolduc, finish the season strong, and we look forward to seeing you guys in Goodell Gym in a couple weeks. Thank you.
Coach, thank you, appreciate it. To keep things rolling, Coach Tinker, football, come on up.
Didn't know if we were going to survive the Larsen filibuster, but we did. Tremendous job, greats of all time. Great to have Ryan back on the podium and sharing the stories of the women's basketball program. Certainly Saturday, we got a pretty good lesson on Saturday from a really strong opponent. You know, one thing, it's hard when you lose by that many points to kind of put it in context, but we played worse football than we did on Saturday. It's just every time we made a mistake, Colorado Mesa made us pay. And they didn't just make us pay by getting the ball back, they scored touchdowns. And it's an impressive team. We could not hang with them for 60 minutes. And they did a great job coming in here. They're going to represent the conference well as a conference champion, in my opinion. We did have some good individual performances. We did have some guys do some good things. But certainly you don't want to go out on senior day and really not acquit yourselves very well, which we didn't do on Saturday. We do have some game highlights. I think Brad has them from Saturday. There were some, like I said, there were some guys who did some really good things and a lot of things to build off of. You know, this is a play right here. They got these good speed players, and this is Andrew Karatapian with the tackle for loss. That was a big third down stop early in the game. I really didn't think our juice was good early in the game. Certainly our faux pas on special teams, the errors we made, they did such a good job in the kicking game against us. And I thought that it killed a lot of our energy. Here again, this is a blitz by Isaiah McGuire. And a season ago when we played this quarterback, we bothered him with blitzes. We got him on this one. He's a pretty good player. And there were a couple other times we got close to bothering him, and then he still made some special plays. Here's a little action of Thomas Crease playing quarterback. He did a nice job throwing the ball. This is Jermaine Williams on the catch. This is on the touchdown drive near the end of the first half. Thomas really threw the ball in there. He was very decisive with his decision-making on Saturday, which was what we expected. This is him finding Carson Hunt for the touchdown. You know, Carson, redshirt freshman, had 100 receiving yards. He's going to be a really great player here. He has really improved from year 1 to year 2. Harrison B. Miller on the tackle here, stopping the option play. One of the things you see when we play, the style of defense we play, we see a lot of this option. And it was good to see us make a couple stops on the option play on Saturday. Back to a little bit more offense. Thomas throwing the ball again. This is Carson Hunt again on the catch. This was a 4th down play, and Carson really fought for the football. You can see a ton of energy that he brought to the table. You know, he's really developed. He's a big guy. You know, he's 6 feet 4 inches tall. He's over 200 pounds, and he's really developed as a really good player, young player in our program, and very, very excited to see his future development. A lot of people asked about the quarterback situation. You know, Jake was unable to play on Saturday. Thomas stepped in, and I can honestly say this: if you take away his 5 turnovers, he played really, really well. Obviously, you know, we have to fix that other part of it. There's no question. But I love a quarterback who had zero hesitation to throw the football. He didn't hold on to the ball too long. He found his progressions. He threw it. We got some. We didn't get some. That does happen. But really proud of the way he stepped in there. He got hit. They have some very good defensive linemen, and he got hit. He got smoked pretty good a few times, and didn't even bother wiping his shoulder pads off. He just got up and went to the next play, which is a lot to grow on. He's just a freshman. So when you see a freshman quarterback play with that kind of composure, I thought that was a big step for us moving forward. Excited for this next week at Western State. I've never been to Gunnison, Colorado. I've only heard great things about it. I've only heard that it's a beautiful part of the country. Can't wait to get up there. Our team's excited to travel. We will be missing a couple of our key guys, but we kind of do that. At this point in the season, I think everybody's missing a few of their key guys. But, man, it's going to be a great opportunity for us to go up there. They promised me it wouldn't snow, and so we're fired up to go take a trip to Gunnison and try to put our best foot forward to close the season out. You know, it's been a long time. I know it's kind of obvious to y'all, but it's been a while since we won a road game in conference play. So it's time for us to go and play well on the road and get an opportunity at a Western State team that we think we can match up with at certain spots and give them a good go. So that's the State of the Union on the program going into Saturday. Are there any questions that you didn't ask Ryan or Jason earlier? You all good? Yeah, go ahead, Coach Larsen. That's a great sweater, though.
Is it safe to say that Mason probably was more athletic teams this year? They were pretty looking out there athletic.
Yeah, the question was whether Mesa's one of the more athletic teams we've seen this year. They're one of the more athletic Division II teams I've seen. You know, that's you saw it. I mean, if you're at the game, you look out there and you're seeing the space that they're creating on the field and the size differential. That's a good football team. They're probably going to have both the defensive player of the year in the league and the offensive player of the year in the league. So, that's pretty good. They just have good talent. I think they've really improved from last year to this year. They're really organized on special teams. Their best players play on special teams. It was a major factor in the game. They impressed me. Yeah, they impressed me. We acquitted ourselves really well against them a season ago at their place. It was a tie game with 2 minutes to play, 2.5 minutes to play. This season, obviously, it was not, and I think it was a little bit more them than it was us. I think they were better. Good. Any other questions? Okay, y'all rock up. Thanks.
Coach, thank you. We appreciate it. I want to give a quick acknowledgement to somebody who I know is watching us online, and that's my father. He's watching us from California in his hospital bed in the Bay Area. He just had open heart surgery yesterday. Former NCAA vice president. He is very stringently following the Hardrockers. So, Dad, we appreciate you. I'm praying for you. God knows what he's doing, and get well soon. And thank you very much, everybody, for being here. Thank you, Sandy, as always, for all the work you do to help put this together. I appreciate it very much. Certainly, Brad and Ken, appreciate you guys. Keep up the good work. Thank you, everybody, for all of your support. Please know that you can continue to go online at hardrockclub.org. We have updated and redone the site, so it is a good place for you to go. But please continue to think about your year-end tax gifts as well. Next week, we will be here once again in the Hall of Fame. We'll start at noon. We will have Pancheros providing the food. So, everybody, we will see you next week. Thank you.